Welcome to a new series on the Limelight podcast called The Corner. Today on the podcast, we have the Limelight's Kaia joining us today. And on The Corner, we are here to just discuss whatever is of interest to our guest. Welcome to the On today's first episode, me and Kaia are going to talk about boy bands. Yeah. Hi, Kaia.
Hi, Bri.
I know you're really excited for this. I'm kind of excited to discuss this. I feel like it's going to be very interesting. Maybe some disagreements, maybe. I don't know. Shall we just get into it?
Let's get into it.
All right. So, boy bands started to emerge during the 1950s with a boy band called the Ink Spots. I know nothing about the Ink Spots. I'm not going to lie to you. But they were, quote unquote, the first boy band to ever exist in the 50s. But the term boy bands did not become a thing until the 1980s. So that term didn't get used until basically all of those boy bands started to emerge from the shadows. In the 1950s, 60s, 70s ish time, we had groups like the Jackson 5, the Temptations, Smokey Robinson, and the Miracles, and they were all signed to Motown. There were some others, but I feel like those three are like the most noteworthy. Smokey Robinson did a lot for the scene of, I don't even know, like music groups, I guess.
For music in general.
Yeah, honestly, for music in general. I did not know that I didn't know he was in a group until I started actually listening to Smokey Robinson and the Miracles. There's like 2 songs I listened to. And I was like, okay. Also, the Miracles did a song with Marvin Gaye, and it's really good. But anyways, and then you have the Temptations. I feel like everyone knows the Temptations. That's something, they're very universal. My girl. And then the Jackson 5. My girl. Talking about. Okay. And then the Jackson 5, who really did everything for the boy band scene, in my opinion, but I'm very biased.
I honestly feel like the Jackson 5 could be, if not for the Ink Spot,
Mm-hmm.
if not for the Ink Spot, could be credited for the boy band model in its entirety.
Yeah, I 100% agree. They had like everything. They were like the whole package for boy bands, I believe. Like they had choreo, they had good singers. They were objectively attractive.
I can't speak on that.
Um objectively. But they had good voices. They all played instruments as they were brought up to, well, not brought up, but they were taught to play instruments. So they were kind of like the blueprint in a way.
And they had longevity.
Yeah.
They were able to explore what they wanted to, come and go for their own careers, and
Right.
then come back as a group, which I thought was pretty interesting too.
Yeah. Moving on to the 80s and the 90s, your
My
area,
niche.
your niche. Um in the 80s, what boy bands were there in the 80s? No, not.
New Edition.
Oh, I could not remember if they were an 80s band or a 90s band. But yes, New Edition. Not that New Edition, like, they weren't the blueprint, but I wholeheartedly believe that they were very very important for the New Edition was, I think, very important for the boy band scene. I think they were also like, I mean, you have Michael Jackson, but Michael Jackson didn't naturally have a very high pitched voice. He did when he was a child, but he was a child.
Right.
But you had I'm blanking on his name right now and I feel really bad. but you had
Bobby Brown.
no, not Bobby Brown, Ralph,
Oh, Ralph.
who had a very high pitched voice. Like, and I feel like that was very different in a way for boy bands because they don't naturally have higher pitched voices within those groups. And they had a very different sound. I mean, it was very hip hop, very 80s, something you could break dance on a cardboard box to,
It's definitely more modernized.
for sure. Um, in the 90s, in the 90s, you had NSYNC, you had New Kids on the Block, Backstreet Boys, Boys to Men, HOT, Shinhwa, Soteji and the Boys, etc., etc.
I was actually gonna say New Kids on the Block is 80s.
Really?
Yeah.
I knew that. I did not know that. Also, I should have known that because in It Chapter 2, they talk about New Kids on the Block. And that was said in the 80s. But yeah, I know nothing. I feel so bad because I know nothing about, like, New Kids on the Block.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I know a little about Backstreet Boys. I think NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, and I'm forgetting one.
NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, 112, 98 Degrees. Who else? Boys to Men. You said HOT, Shinhwa.
And then Soteji, they emerged in like the 90s after he left like a band that he was in. So they were I think the 90s was when boy bands were very solidified within, I don't want to say society, but maybe like the industry.
Yeah.
That's it kind of like carved out. I do believe that the Jackson 5 were the outline for boy bands, but I think the 90s really carved out what boy bands should be.
And I definitely think the 90s not only carved out what it should be or what it would be, but also what the time and the sound of that era, the evolution of a boy band completely switched and flipped. So you went from having like a more clean cut, family friendly image to this teenage heartthrob image.
You're so right. I feel like, yeah, because you had like groups like the Temptations who were very like suits and like very slick back hair, and then you fast forward a couple decades and you have people like NSYNC and New Kids on the Block, and they're like all very streetwear, hair any type of way, um, and they're all younger as well.
Yes.
Because I mean, most of those bands were family bands, but they were all very older. I think not that the Jackson 5 were the first to do it, but like Michael was like how old when he joined Jackson 5?
Michael was like a kid.
Yeah. And I feel like bands before then were like kind of like, ooh, they weren't middle-aged men, but they were like men in their 20s. But yeah, I think that it definitely flipped it on its head in a way, to where it was like definitely there was a shift within the boy band scene, and it was changing, I think, the for the better, question mark.
I think so too. I mean, it gave us some really good music.
You're not wrong.
And it gave us like cultural moments, cuz like evolution is not like a bad thing. It's interesting to see and compare, especially like thinking of all the songs that we can go back to and still listen to that hold up pretty well. Like I can go back to My Girl. I can go back to I Want You Back. And I can also go back to I Want It That Way. And I can go back to Can You Stand the Rain? So
tell me why ain't nothing better. No? Okay. Yeah, and then you had like heavy influence from the West being brought to the East with HOT and Shinhwa and Soteji and the Boys, where they were really just like, oh, they're doing that over there. Let's bring it over here. let's break out the cardboard boxes. Let's wear baggy pants. Let's like have beanies and all this other stuff, and like let's do it up in South Korea. And that was kind of their attitude. I like to believe. Um,
Um, I wanted to highlight NSYNC in particular
mm-hmm.
because um, as a 90s boy band, as they were getting into the 2000s, turn of the century, Y2K bug, oh my God, what?
Mm-hmm.
Um, their second album, No Strings Attached, sold 1 million copies, which was at the time like the biggest thing ever. It was like a world record.
Mm-hmm.
And it sold 1 million copies on the first day.
That's like,
Yeah.
has anyone like, was that for like boy bands or just artists in
That
general?
was artists in general.
That's crazy. Has anyone else like reached that?
Since then, yeah. But, and I think there was only like, I think it was only like One Direction or BTS.
Okay.
But at the time, that was like a really huge thing
Mm-hmm.
because if you think about it, there was no streaming.
Yep. It was pure CD.
It was pure sales.
Or
pure sales.
Yep.
So it was pure CDs. People literally went to their Circuit City,
Mm-hmm.
their whatever they went to get CDs.
Their local Target maybe.
Right. I think Target opened like 2004.
Well,
I actually don't know.
I don't know either.
I wasn't born yet. I was born in 2001, so I'm not gonna lie.
That is true.
But Circuit City.
Circuit City, and
so
maybe why can't I think
maybe
of
a record
like,
store.
Yeah, a record store. Why can't I can't like there were CD stores though.
There definitely was.
I feel so
We
bad.
just don't know
I feel
them.
like we're really
Best
like,
Buy.
Best Buy.
There we go. Best Buy.
I just can't imagine people going to Best Buy to buy CDs though.
But that's what we used to do. I used to do that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like as a kid, I used to buy CDs from Best Buy all the time.
I just always had CDs. I don't think I ever like. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Since I've been born, Target has been a thing. So
yeah,
I did go to Target, but I mean Walmart too.
Yeah,
Walmart did have CDs as well. Okay.
But yeah, selling 1 million copies, pure sales was like a huge deal, especially on your first day.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy. I'm like imagining people ordering CDs off of the internet, like completely disregarding that like that wasn't a thing.
Yeah, like that you couldn't even pre-order on the internet. The internet was barely a thing. Like it was a thing, but like you couldn't do that.
Yeah, that was the extent was whatever the government was doing and the people who had the money to get the internet. And
yeah, like this was 2000,
right?
Like, yeah,
but yeah, and then on to the 2000s.
Yeah.
You had groups like, I mean, you still had your NSYNC. You still had
Backstreet Boys.
Mm-hmm. They were still thriving. You still had your Shinhwa.
Mm-hmm.
You had that's when Perfect Boy came out, or Perfect Man. Oh my God, Perfect Man came out. And then you had B2K and Mindless Behavior and others that we probably are not mentioning right now. But you were a B2K person. I was a Mindless Behavior.
I was a B2K person.
I was a Mindless Behavior kid. I don't even know how I stumbled upon Mindless Behavior. I think I just saw one of their YouTube videos one day and I was like, oh, yeah. I think Mindless Behavior was my first boy band.
I was a big B2K person. I loved their songs, but I only knew like a couple of songs because I was a little kid.
Yeah.
So I knew like that Bump 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 song that featured like Diddy, I think. And then like another song from like this one movie that was like a dance movie. And I was like, this is so good.
Yeah.
I love them. I love Omarion.
I love Omarion. B2K, Mindless Behavior. Early 2000s was like a weird time for boy bands because it was like you had your existing ones and then there was only like a couple ones that like emerged in the early 2000s, but I feel like it wasn't like a surge of boy bands, you know? I feel like that kind of happened within like the 80s and the 90s because Boyz II Men was still a boy band, and then Was New Kids on the Block still a boy band, or did they like?
They had like they were still active, but they kind of had like a comeback, if that makes sense.
Okay, yeah,
By then they were like grown men,
yeah,
so they were like a man band.
a man band, as Wikipedia says. I want to see if there's any. Well,
But by like the 2000s, I remember we saw that like that's kind of like when traditional boy bands had kind of like started to shift.
right, that was the second shift.
Yeah.
Of the
Second evolution.
the second evolution. I feel like there's kind of only like three. There's
Yeah.
like three evolutions. But yeah, there weren't many. I mean, I just looked up 2000s boy bands, and I'm only seeing NSYNC Boys, Backstreet Boys, New Kids on the Block, Boys to Men, and then these other ones, The Wanted, and these other ones that I've never heard of.
The Wanted's 2010s.
Yeah, One Direction's also on here, and they
which
were the.
we'll visit in a second.
But yeah, just NSYNC. You had 98 Degrees, but I've never heard of 98 Degrees in my life.
98 Degrees had Nick Lachey.
Who is that?
He's now a really famous television host
Interesting.
of a lot of reality shows.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, we forgot one of the biggest boy bands, or one of the most like, the Jonas Brothers.
I literally mentioned the Jonas Brothers to you last week, and you're like, no.
You're so right. Yeah, that did happen, but
because they're technically not a boy band; they're a band.
you're so right. But yeah, they didn't dance, did they?
No.
Yeah. So they're not a boy band.
They're just like a pop rock band.
Yeah. O-Town.
Like All Time Low.
112. Soul Decision. I don't know any of these people. Anyways.
112 was so good. Peaches, egg, and cream.
Okay. I like the little dance you did that no one else is seeing. That was really good. Was that like the choreo that they did?
No. In like 2018, when the Touch teaser by NCT came out, I was like, this dance reminds me of Peaches and Cream. And then I had my friend edit Peaches and Cream over the Touch teaser.
Okay. You have to show me that.
It's still on my phone. I can show you later.
Yes. Okay. Let's move on, because there's nothing really to talk about in the early 2000s. But the 2010s were something for sure.
Oh, the 2010s. I like to call this the death of boy bands.
Yes, because it was the death of boy bands, essentially. There was a resurgence, but this was like, I think this was the death of boy bands for the U.S.
Yeah.
Because there hasn't been a successful U.S. boy band since One Direction.
And I would, as much as I love One Direction, as a former Directioner, I just like to preface this.
As a former Directioner, I would like to preference.
I would just like to preface this. I personally contribute the death of boy bands in the U.S. to the fact that like they reconfigured the model of boy bands.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
Like,
I think that the way that they came together as well was a bit odd in a way, because I feel like other boy bands, it was like they got their friends together and they were like, hey, let's like do something fun. Let's sing and dance for money, maybe. But One Direction, they were put together by Simon Cowell.
I'm gonna have to stop you there.
Okay. I know nothing really,
because half of the boy bands we mentioned were put together by record labels too.
Okay. And NSYNC.
NSYNC were half put together by their, at the time, manager Lou Pearlman. Half put together by, okay, we needed this person in our band. Can you please like join us? We need like another tenor. We need another bass. That kind of thing. But they were all formed by like record labels at the time. Okay. Because record labels were like, we want to form like a band. We want to form like a group. We want to form like this. Yeah. We're looking for this person. We're looking for that person. Do you fit the bill? You look cute. Can you sing? That kind of thing. Can you dance? Right. Like if a K-pop company was like street casting. Yeah. Can you sing? Can you dance?
Can you do anything?
Right.
Yeah, okay, I get it. Yeah. But honestly, sorry, this sounds so bad. And listen, One Direction wasn't a bad group, okay? They had good music, you know. I love the best song ever.
That's the one you love?
Not too much, okay?
I'm just asking.
Best song ever is one of the better songs that they have, I feel like. No? Okay.
No.
I don't know, it changed my life personally.
For what? The better?
Yes.
Okay.
No? Okay.
No.
Oh. Well,
okay. You're go ahead.
I enjoyed the song. I enjoyed the music video. I think it showed the fun that they had together. Anyways, I just feel like when I watch those videos of them dancing for Simon Cowell, I just feel like they had partial skill and not all of the skill that they should have had. If you get what I'm saying. They weren't mediocre, but I think for the hype that they got, they could have been better than what they were.
Yeah, I definitely think there could have been a little bit more effort on their part in terms of like stage performances and everything. Because when I look back at like, I hate to bring up NSYNC again. I'm sorry, that's just the way my brain works. But when I look back at like NSYNC concert performances versus like One Direction concert performances, One Direction was just like walking on stage, singing, having fun, yes. But they were just walking on stage singing versus NSYNC was putting on like a show. Like, whether that be choreography, whether that be like staging and blocking, whether that be like literally anything.
Yeah.
Props, you know?
People don't perform anymore.
They don't. They really just don't perform.
They don't perform, and that's the problem. But yeah, I just feel like because they did have some hits. I mean, I was a Directioner at one point. I just feel like that they could have given more for what they were and how much they were like hyped up by fans. But also, I think that they created the death of boy bands because of also the way that they disbanded.
Yeah.
I think that was very messy.
It was really messy and it was really weird. But I guess it's also no different from how other boy bands in the past have disbanded or fizzled out.
Very true.
If you think about it. Because, like, in the past, like, I don't know how the Backstreet Boys stopped when they first stopped. Like they're really active right now, which is a little annoying sometimes. No offense.
People love a little like
people love
nostalgia.
A little man band.
Like they want people are really grasping.
Yeah, I respect it. Or respect their man bands.
True, respect their man bands.
But with the disbandment of One Direction, I think like with Backstreet Boys, even though they're still active right now, when they first were not active, like before they had their comeback, I think they just like stopped making music. They were on like an indefinite hiatus. Same thing with like NSYNC. Same thing with like, I think New Kids on the Block.
I don't know.
And then they just like come back, and that's kind of like the same One Direction. They're like, we're gonna come back soon. We're gonna be on an indefinite hiatus.
Nope.
And then they're like, they're not coming back.
Yeah.
You know they're not coming back. So stuff like that. So it kind of seems like the standard where it's like, we're not going to come back, but we're going to tell you we'll come back eventually, or we're not going to say anything because we don't want to hurt your guys' hearts.
Right.
That kind of thing.
It was very interesting. I mean, the whole boy band formula is you get into a boy band, you have one person that becomes super popular. That person leaves the group and becomes a soloist. That's like the formula. But I feel like that didn't happen with a lot of boy bands. I feel like that only happened with like a small pool, because you had like NSYNC and you had like Jackson 5, I guess. But there was like no bad blood. I feel like with either of those, the bad blood really happened with like One Direction, you know?
Yeah.
Because Zayn left first, right?
Yeah.
And no one knew why Zayn left. And then Zayn did like his solo stuff, and then Harry left, right? Or did they disband and then Harry did his thing?
They said they were going on a hiatus, and then Harry did his thing, and then Niall did his thing, Liam did his thing, Louis did his thing.
It's kind of sad that they didn't. That like their songs did flop. They did not.
Technically, Niall's a successful soloist too.
Yeah, he is a successful soloist. I feel like he was. Yeah, the other two. Isn't like Louis a father now? So is Zayn though.
Yeah, Louis a father. So is Liam.
Yeah, I guess they're all fathers, but Harry.
Yeah.
But that's because Harry is still like in like the light where like I feel like he can't do any of that. I don't think he's ever gonna become a father.
You don't know.
Yeah, that is true. I don't see that for him though.
I don't know what I see for him. I don't think about it that often.
I don't either. I'm like imagining him as a father right now in my head.
I can't really imagine that.
But like all I'm seeing is like Olivia Wilde with her children and like Harry tagging along.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah. He gives like major maybe stepdad vibes. Yeah. Our life. Did you watch Don't Worry, Darling?
Yes, I did.
I hated it.
I thought it was pretty okay.
I think if someone was to explain it to me just via word, like via mouth, I would enjoy it. But I saw it with my own eyes, and it wasn't super bad, but it wasn't enjoyable for me.
It was like a solid 3.5 or 4 for me.
I think on Letterboxd I gave it a 1.
Oh.
I mean, that's better than giving it no stars at all.
Yeah. I thought the plot was good. Mm-hmm. The execution just wasn't.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And not to get into, I gave it a 1 star. Not to get into the drama right now, but I think everything surrounding that movie also made it, I mean, unenjoyable, but like also, but like I wouldn't want Shia LaBeouf in the movie either. So like, I guess Harry was like the best choice.
I mean, Harry he wasn't a bad actor until that one part where he was like banging his head on the steering wheel or something.
No.
And crying when she got taken away. He was like, I'm sorry.
I don't think that I don't think he's built for acting. I think that he should do a tour for 3 years again, and then that could be his life. Anyways, enough of One Direction. Let's get into the good.
Enough of Harry Styles.
Let's get into the fun. The area that I can speak more on, I feel like.
Okay.
In like the late 2010s, late 2010s, you could also say that in the 2010s period, this K-pop really got big, as we were talking about. You had like 21, you had Big Bang, you had oh wait, we're only talking about boy bands. You had Big Bang. Sorry guys, that's for another episode. You had Big Bang, who was a group. I mean, they had Big Bang Bang Bang, a Big Bang Bang. That was a good song, you know. But I just feel like period, like they were loved. K-pop idols now still look up to those people, you know? Why are you laughing?
I'm sorry.
This is true.
No, I thought of that clip of Mark being like, who he would want in his...
Oh, God, I saw that.
Who he would want in his group, and he was like, G-Dragon, Kyungsoo, and a couple other names. Like, I couldn't remember.
So interesting.
It was like the most random people. And someone was like, These are people he just saw in his dream last night.
Someone's like, thank God that's not his job. Imagine. Oh my, that would be like a nightmare group. It's like a fake Super M. Ugh. Okay. But yeah, I. I'm gonna look this up right now. 2010
2010s.
K-pop boy group.
I mean, shoot.
Oh, you had Infinite.
I said that last week, and you were like, "No."
I'm so sorry, Kaia.
Oh my god.
I mean, you did have Infinite. I don't really have much to say about Infinite though, and I think that's my problem.
Infinite had a lot of really good songs.
You had 2 a.m. and 2 p.m.
I did?
No, like
Oh.
2010 boy
Oh,
groups.
yeah. 2 a.m. and 2 p.m.
Oh,
I don't have a lot to say about 2
Shiny.
a.m. That's a very interesting picture.
I agree. You had Shiny though.
I did have Shiny.
Was that 09 or was that in the 10s?
That was
Replay.
08?
That was a hit. Well, not in the U.S., but
wait. Fuck. Yeah, 08.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so smart.
Oh, yeah. You had Shiny. I think. Well, we can just talk about Korea impact, I guess, right now.
Okay.
Because I don't remember. I don't know in the 10s like boy bands that were like that impacted the U.S. much. But I know in Korea, Big Bang really impacted Korea. Sotaeji and the boys were the first to kind of shake the Korean industry in a way, to where they started like. We'll get in.
If we shift the focus to that, then we could talk about TVXQ as well.
Yeah, more will be dissected in another episode with the Limelight's Addy. But today we're just talking about boy bands, so it's fine. But you had 2 p.m. You had TVXQ, right? That's how you say their name.
Yeah, TVXQ.
TVXQ. You had Shiny, Super Junior. We can't skip on them. They were very prominent. And I think who else? I feel like those were like the main ones. Big Bang, TVXQ, Shiny, 2 p.m. or 2 a.m.
2 p.m.
2 p.m.
Yeah.
Big Bang. I think that I feel like Big Bang and TVXQ and 2 p.m. really inspired a lot of boy group members.
Mm-hmm.
There's people who still talk about like the impact that those guys had on them, and sometimes those people were who inspired them to go into K-pop and become like singers and dancers and whatnot. And so they set up what, I don't even know how I'm trying to like word this, but I think they set up the expectation for what members in a boy group, in a Korean boy group, should be.
Infinite was, I forgot what company they were under, because I was gonna say they would be considered a non-big three group that got big.
Oh, I can't even spell Infinite.
INFIN.
They were a part. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. Kalko M.
Or Woolum.
Who was in this group?
L. Oh, I love it.
These are some good-looking people.
Their songs are good. The Eye was a good song.
I've definitely heard of them. I don't know. They're still active. Yes, they are. Because not that I've heard any of their music, but I've definitely heard of them. But the 2010s, I feel like for K-pop we're
missing some very crucial names from the 2010s.
Who are we missing?
We just mentioned names from the We just mentioned names from 2000s.
Yeah. But the 2010s, we'll get into the 2010s.
Okay.
I think that the early 2000s you had, well, Infinite, they started in 2010.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll get into them. But I think that TVXQ, Shiny, Big Bang, they definitely, they were what, they were like what NSYNC in a way were like, what NSYNC was for American boy bands is what like they were for Korean boy bands. But moving on to the 2010s, we're gonna cover the entirety of 2010s. So,
okay,
starting from the 10s, you have Infinite.
Yes.
Who you can speak on a little bit because I don't really know much.
I don't have much to say. They had some really great songs. They were one of the first not one of the first, but like they're one of the few boy groups that weren't under the big three companies at the time to really hit big, which was like a big deal. And then you have like BTS,
right?
You have EXO, you have GOT7.
Yeah.
At the time, you had Newest.
Yeah, I forgot about them.
2010s, you had NCT.
Let's get into
TXT.
Stop right there, because that's a whole nother generation.
But that's still 2010s.
It is 2010s, but I feel like for K-pop, I feel like it's like generation by generation instead of years.
Fine.
Should we get into Newest, GOT7, BTS, and EXO?
Yes.
Okay. Newest I know of, but I don't know well of. Like, I don't know enough of. I've heard of them, but I don't think I've ever listened to their music. They have like 2 other like extensions. They have Newest W and Newest M.
Yeah.
But they disbanded. Dang. Oh wait, no. They just disbanded.
Yeah.
That's sad.
I should have said 101 instead.
101?
Yeah, 101. Like the Produce Group.
Oh. Yeah. That's a good one. When did Produce 101 start?
2017.
Huh. Really?
Yeah.
Who was it? Was it?
Wait, you mean like the full show or
the show?
2016.
Who was their first boy group?
The first girl group was IOI.
Yes.
The first boy group was 101.
Oh.
The second boy group was X1.
Oh, X1. Oh. Okay, so they just know how to make flop groups, basically. Well,
no, because all their groups come out really successful. They just disbanded X1 because of the rigging scandal.
The rating scandal?
The rigging scandal.
Rigging. Oh.
They rigged the votes for all the other groups after IOI.
Oh, that's crazy.
Because IOI was the only group that had the natural votes. For 101, IZ*ONE, and X1, they rigged the votes.
That's crazy.
On the show. And it came out that happened when the fans of the people who got eliminated were like, we want the real votes. We know that what you did. And then it was like a huge thing.
Shady.
And then it came a lawsuit and everything.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Newest was under Pledis.
Yes, Pledis.
I don't know how to say sorry. Pledis has 17,
and that's it because they disbanded Priston and Newest.
I like how artists, it says 17 Newest, Fromis 9, and Woozy.
Oh yeah, they do have Fromis 9.
Fromis, I love Fromis. Anyways, so yeah, Newest, they just disbanded, but they debuted in 2012 with 5 members. And I feel like they were fairly popular. They were pretty popular.
They had gotten really popular when they first debuted, and then I think they were like sent overseas or something. And then they like were no longer as popular, so then they sent a couple members most members to Produce 101 season 2. to compete and gain back that popularity.
Okay.
And then one member, Minhyun, got picked to be on in the group.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's when they
It's
formed Newest W.
newest. I don't know if they've really had much impact though, but they
Yeah.
were big.
Yeah.
Then you had EXO.
Oh gosh.
You know what's so funny? When I first got into K-pop, I was taught that like EXO sucked and EXO was evil and like what XOLs is that what they're called?
Yes.
Are like terrible people, and so I would
Same.
flame EXO all the time on my Twitter, and then I listened to their music and I was like, I get it, I get it. So then I became an XOL and I was an ARMY. It was weird because ARMYs hate people who stand other groups. It's kind of crazy. But I ate up EXO.
Yeah.
My first song was Coco Bop.
Really?
And I really liked Coco Bop.
Oh my god.
I'd even touch Call Me Baby until like a couple years ago.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
My first EXO song was, what was it? I think it was, my first EXO comeback was like, my first EXO comeback was Coco Bop, like that I experienced.
Yeah.
But I think my first EXO song was like Monster.
No, I think okay. Not even that. This is literally not even controversial. SM has the best vocalists. Easily. They're part of SM, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't want to. They have the like. I'm so sorry, but EXO has like, and it's kind of crazy because they just came back for like a little comeback, and it was like weird seeing them together again because one, they're like low key kind of old now. Even though this is such a crazy statement to say because I don't believe that, like, I do believe you're too old to be in a boy group, Super Junior, but I just think that like being like in your late 20s or early 30s, like you're not old, like you're not too old to be in a boy band. Just like don't do things that you would do when you were like in your early 20s. Like don't like you're mature, be mature. You don't have to like do boyish concepts because you're not a boy anymore. You're in a man group. Like, please.
Right.
But anyways, enough of my rant. EXO has some of the best vocalists I've ever heard in my life. You have Dio, you have Baekhyun, you have me trying to think of the other people in that group. Am I missing like a prominent member that I should say?
Yeah.
Who?
I think we're good.
Okay. They all have like pretty solid solo. Well, some of them. One's one is busy being a father. Chanyeol, I don't like Chanyeol. It's the vibe It's the vibe he gives. There's something wrong with that.
I used to be a huge Chanyeol fan.
Ooh, see, I was always a Sehun fan personally. But I ate up Baekhyun as a soloist. So I love Kai as a soloist as well.
Kai's a really good soloist.
He was like meant to be a soloist.
Yeah.
GOT7.
GOT7. Oh,
I
boy.
feel like I feel like GOT7 was popular like debut.
Yeah, I think they were definitely a lot more popular during their debut. But that could also be contributed to the fact that they've kind of been on hiatus right now.
Oh my god.
Because
they still technically a group?
They're still technically a group, but they left their company.
Yeah.
They left JYP.
They're really smart. Sorry.
No, you're good. They left JYP and then took like their name and trademarks and everything, and went to another company and everything. But they were really popular since like debut, and like made like a whole name for themselves and everything. And like girls,
yes.
they love me.
I don't know. They like they were under JYP. See, this is the thing with JYP groups. I don't enjoy JYP boy groups that much, but GOT7, I got into GOT7 so late because I got into GOT7 when Just 2 not disbanded, debuted. Yeah, when Yugyeom, When Focus came out, oh my gosh.
Focus on me.
I was like, oh, I need to get into this group. And then I got into them, and then, I don't know. I was in a weird time where I was just trying to stan all the groups.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to see how many I could stan and juggle. But I think they were like, they're one of the groups that you can really like, when people recap K-pop,
mm-hmm.
they're going to be one that really is mentioned, because there's, I mean, yeah, they're a group that really, there's not many groups. I mean, they were a part of the big three, but
mm-hmm.
they're like, I'm like trying to find the words. Even though they were part of the big three, it's still remarkable for 2014 to debut and you become instantly popular from your debut. And they had that one song. Was that the first song?
Just Right?
Yeah.
No, that's their like.
Was that like a B-side?
Our third comeback?
Because Just Right came out in 2016.
It's like their third or fourth comeback, maybe.
So you had A, which I'm saying right here. Oh, Girls, Girls, Girls. Okay, yeah. What you said.
Oh, A, Stop It. If You Do, Just Right.
Okay. Yeah.
I think that's the right order.
And I think it's really smart that when they left JYP, they kept their name, so that they kept everything that makes their group their group.
Mm-hmm.
It's so interesting that they're on a hiatus. Like, I really do wonder if they're going to come back, or if it's like one of those where what you said like before, where it's like they say they're going to come back, but they never do. Like, I wonder what their plan's going to be, because I feel like, not that it was abrupt, but I think it really shook everyone when they announced that they were kind of disbanding in a way.
Yeah.
Because half of them went to Jay Park's label, and then Mark went home, and Jackson Wang was doing whatever Jackson Wang does, and like they were all kind of doing their own thing. I mean, they were already doing their own thing prior, but I think it really solidified like their individuality when they kind of disbanded, which is crazy. It's crazy to say that they disbanded even though they haven't. Because like kind of they have. Like, what was their last song?
Their recent comeback.
Nah, which was that was like last year.
Oh.
So they're kind of just like doing it whenever they want, which is smart, because then it's like you don't have to follow a schedule. You don't have to follow like anything. You can just do it whenever you feel like it. Now to the real discussion. I want to save these two groups, NCT and BTS, because I feel like this is the thing. I want to, not that this is controversial, I feel like, maybe I'm just biased, but I feel like NCT and BTS are two groups that have kind of shifted K-pop, the industry in a way, because NCT, they brought a model that hasn't been used ever
in the K-pop industry. Yeah.
Adding, like, right now, they don't have 22 members. They don't have 23 members either, which is kind of crazy. They have, like, 20 right now.
Actually, I don't know how many members they have right now, because they're adding new members.
Oh, they are. And then they have NCT Japan right now.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on with NCT right now. But during NCTU 2020... whenever Universe, when Shelter on Shungchan were in the group, 2021, there was 23 members in the group. Wait. But then they left. Lucas was doing whatever Lucas was doing. And then, did anyone else leave? Because some people left, right? When did Let's play ball. Yo, in my universe.
I think that was 2021.
Hey, yo, listen up. No matter what they say, no matter what they do, we gon' rest. Oh, Baggy Jean? Sorry.
I swear that was 2021.
Let me check. 2020. So in 2020.
Universe?
Yes, Resonance Part 1. Oh, sorry. Resonance Part 1.
Oh, you were thinking about Resonance?
Yeah, I was thinking about Resonance.
But you were singing Universe.
I was singing Universe. Because I have both of the albums. I was thinking about the albums that I have, because those are my first two NCT albums. So I was thinking about the ones that I have.
Okay.
But Resonance was they had 23 members.
Yes, 2020.
2020. And then a lot of things happen. We won't talk about that because we're talking about...
Yes, we're talking about the boy group.
We're talking about the boy groups, and we're talking about them when they first started. They debuted as NCT U, though.
Yes.
Initially, because they debuted with...
Make-A-Wish. Shotaro debuted with Make-A-Wish. And Songchan debuted with 90s Love.
Yes. But I'm talking about 2016.
Oh. They debuted with The Seven Sense.
Yeah, Seven Sense. I was like, what is that? What's the name of the song? That song ate down. That song is so good to this day. Like, I don't know what they put in that. Ooh, not Lucas being one of the 6 members first.
Why?
Is he even like, what is, I don't know. We can't even get into that right now. I don't know what is going on with that. But 2016, they debuted with NCT U, which only had Mark, Taeyong, Doyoung, right?
Doyoung.
Doyoung and Haechan. No, Haechan, no?
Mm-mm.
Who?
10 Jaehyun.
Okay, yeah. With Seventh Sense.
Mm-hmm.
Were they the only ones that debuted with NCT U that year, or
no? Tail did as well.
Okay.
Without You.
And then you had Baby Don't Stop as well.
No, that was 2018.
Oh, you're lying. Oh yes, because I'm thinking about NCT 2018. Empathy. That's crazy.
However, that year, NCT 127 debuted, and NCT Dream debuted.
Yeah, and then the NCT Dream model then was kind of crazy.
Yes,
I'm really hungry.
Me too.
I got into NCT via NCT Dream.
Okay.
With let me check right now because I don't remember, and I don't remember what song it was.
Chewing Gum?
No, but you know what's really funny? I don't listen to the Korean version of Chewing Gum.
You listen to the Chinese version?
I sure do listen to the Chinese version.
Okay.
I love it. No, my first was We Go Up. Right before Mark left. We go up, we go go up. Yeah, that was my first. How did you stand NCT initially?
How did I stand NCT?
Yeah, like what got you into NCT? Baby Don't Stop and We Go Up were my two.
I think I started standing around Limitless.
Okay. Interesting. Can you hear my stomach right now? Oh my god.
That's a crazy ass sound. I started standing around Limitless, if I remember correctly. But I was listening to them beforehand.
Okay.
I was listening. I will preface though, I was for real only listening to You and 127.
I mean,
I didn't like Chewing Gum.
That's crazy. I ate Chewing Gum up. The music video was so fun. But the song is fun.
I will say, I was an NCT, and Jasara knows this too. I was an NCT Dream. I had conflict with NCT.
I heard you're an NCT Dream hater. Actually,
I'm not an NCT Dream hater.
That's
I had conflict with NCT Dream for about
Who was the conflict with?
No, it wasn't like with anyone in specific. I just had conflict with NCT Dream.
Okay.
For about, how old am I?
How old am I?
22. What's 16 minus 22?
Don't ask me. Let's break out the calculator real quick. You said 20 minus
16 minus 22, or yeah, 22 minus 16.
You were 6.
No, that would be 5. Okay, that'd be 6 years.
Okay,
or I guess 5 years. Let's do 5 years. I had conflict with them for about 5 years.
So you were 17.
No, I was 16.
Oh, okay.
But I'm going to take off a year because I ended the conflict with them when I was 21.
Okay. I'm so happy for you.
Yeah.
I think.
I had conflict with them for about 5 years. But I ended that conflict about 6 months ago.
I'm really happy that you resolved that.
Yeah.
You can enjoy in peace.
It took going to their concert to end that conflict.
I'm glad that seeing them in person is what changed that.
Yeah.
I'm really happy for you.
Seeing Jamin really changes a person.
Yeah, I would imagine. And in person, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that NCT, in conclusion to NCT, I think that the model that they use is very unique and kind of shifted the industry in a way, because it's something that hadn't been done in the K-pop industry. You having like 10 different like extensions to one group, and they all have different concepts, and they all have certain amount of members, and yeah, no, that works. But yeah, I think that they were very unique and very interesting, and I enjoy them. I enjoy NCT a lot. Anyways, moving on to BTS. We can say so much about BTS. We really can.
We really could, but we can also leave that to you and Addie.
That is so true. What I will say is that they were not popular in their debut. What? Wait, wait. I'm going somewhere with this. Okay. They were not popular with their debut, but that's partly because, one, they decided to try to be hardcore hip hop group. And on top of that, they were like in a small they were in a small company, like
they were in a small indie label.
Oh yeah, they were. And it wasn't until DNA where they got popular in the West. I think that Blood, Sweat, and Tears kind of put them in. No, you don't think so? Give your opinions. I think
they started gaining more traction with Dope.
You think so?
Yeah.
I agree.
They started getting more traction with their US audience here in terms of like fans.
Dope.
Yeah,
I agree with that. That was what, 2016? They were just
2015.
They were popping out albums, because I was like I was looking at all the albums not the other day, but a long while ago, and I was like, man, like they used to pop albums left and right. It'd be like 2013, bam, 2014, bam, 2015, bam. Maybe there was 2 albums that year. Like they were, you could tell that they were doing music because they loved it.
Yeah.
And
Dope was the most beautiful moment in life, part 1.
It was. With Butterfly and...
Yeah. Wait.
No. That was 2?
That was 2.
Okay. I don't know what was on part 1.
Part 1 had like... I Need You.
Oh.
And Hold On Tight.
Okay. Hold Me Tight.
Yeah, that.
Honestly, though, those are not even my favorite albums. It's definitely the Wings era. Okay. Everyone getting their own solo song.
Definitely a choice.
Oh, okay. that album is like pure like, you had Mama, you had Begin, you had, why am I blanking on what Tay's
Stigma.
You had Stigma, you had 21st Century Girl, you had...
I will say the Wings era was my first comeback.
I think you have Blood, Sweat, and Tears. Like, come on. Wings era. Also, like, Love Yourself Tear, but...
Yeah, Love Yourself Tear is my favorite.
Love Yourself Tear is when I started standing BTS, which was 2018, which is when I started standing every K-pop group that I still love right now. But I think Tear was really good.
Yeah.
Tear was a fake love. Yeah, fake love. I was imagining like the orchestral version of Black Swan in my head, so I was like, that's not right.
Oh.
But it is fake love. Tear by the Rap Line. Who did the intro for that album? It wasn't Epiphany, was it?
No, it was Singularity.
It was Singularity.
So Taehyung.
And that song changed my life. Yeah. Except I did say that song kind of sounded like Gary Come Home. when I first heard it.
Oh my god.
But I take it back now. I shouldn't say that. Sorry. I was about to say I'm mad at Tay right now, but that's so irrelevant right now, so it doesn't even matter.
I am too, but we can. Yeah.
His pipes. Tay can sing. Tay can sing. You sound. We are upset right now, but you cannot hide from admitting the truth, which is Tay has some pipes. You don't think so?
I'm just angry right now.
No. Rightfully so though. But like Singularity really did change. Like Singularity and Stigma. Oh my, like if he wasn't going in the direction he was going in right now, I would beg for an R&B album. But I fear that would be for the worst. Okay, enough talking about these people. They really did change the fabric of everything. I think the last people that we're about to talk about really took heavy influence from BTS and EXO and GOT7 and all of the fourth generation boy groups that are under that umbrella. I think that they really impacted what boy groups are today right now. You have Rise, you have TXT, you have, I'm really blanking because I don't know anyone right now.
ENHYPEN.
Ooh.
That was so uncalled for. You got caught on that one.
So sorry. I won't voice my opinions today. 80s. Oh.
I'm sorry.
I mean, I don't like 80s' music, but they're still like a big group, you know?
I guess. You can take over that one.
The Boys. Oh, okay. No, okay. Yeah. I see how you feel.
Yeah.
They have good music.
You can take over 4th gen.
Ooh, isn't this like 5th gen though? I mean,
no,
the Boys and
Rise would be 5th gen.
Oh, so the Boys are 5th gen because they are 4th gen because they debuted in like 2017.
Rise would technically be. I mean, the Boys would technically be 3rd gen. Technically speaking.
Yeah, they would be 3rd gen.
They debuted in 2017.
I don't really know much. I'm like more of a 4th gen girl group person, but I enjoy Rise right now. I really do. Rise is like, I mean, they're basically an NCT variant.
Yeah.
But they are popular via they're popular, like they were popular pre-debut and debut, but that's because one, Shangchen and Shotaro are in that group. Two, what was that?
I think we're under attack.
You're joking.
I am joking.
Thank God.
Anyways, why would I be serious?
That'd be so scary. I don't know. Scary things are going on right now. Get a guitar. Get a guitar. Do the dance for us right now, Kaia. If you want something to play with, get a guitar. Yeah, Rise is eating it up right now. I really enjoy Rise.
Get a guitar.
They are an NCT variant, so like there's not much to say about their inspiration. We know where their inspiration comes from. Yeah. But they're like, I don't know. There's a really bad thing happening within K-pop groups right now that we will get into in another episode of The Corner. But you have groups like TXT that we could talk about.
Yes.
Will I talk about ENHYPEN? No, I won't. And I'm so sorry, but I won't.
Will I talk about ATEEZ and the Boys? No, I will not.
That's okay, because I don't really have much to say anyways.
That's good.
So we can talk about Tomorrow by Together.
Okay.
I think that Tomorrow by Together is like, I don't think that they will be as successful as like BTS per se. No shade to them. Like that wasn't like supposed to be shady or anything. they are very popular right now. They are very popular. I mean, they just performed at Lollapalooza.
Mm-hmm.
They're very big here. They're very big in Korea. They're a very big band. I just, and this isn't from like a BTS fan standpoint or anything, but this sounds so unbelievable. Like, this sounds like I'm not like, but like, do I believe that there will be a boy band now from Korea that'll become as big as BTS was in their prime in the US? I don't think so.
Well, no, there probably won't be, but I think we have to start believing that every group is going to be their own entity.
Very true. That is very true.
Not every group should be compared or on the same like road of success as like BTS.
Right.
Like even with the girl groups being compared to BTS, it's not like necessarily the same thing. Right.
I don't understand that. I mean, we're not talking about girl groups right now, but Blackpink has nothing to offer.
What?
Respectfully. Sorry. Respectfully.
Where did that come from?
Sorry. I have a lot of Blackpink stuff to get off my chest. Like a lot.
I was gonna say the success Blackpink has doesn't like it's not comparable to BTS because
it's not. But people like the U.S. loves grouping them together,
right? Because
like,
they're just both from the
BTS.
K-pop industry.
And it's like, yeah, but people here wholeheartedly believe that Blackpink is one of the like most successful girl groups and like the biggest one. When it's
from the K-pop industry right now, yeah.
You think so? I don't.
Honestly, yeah.
Like, not twice?
No.
What? Whoa. Okay.
Twice a close second.
Twice close second? Okay.
Actually, no, not close. Twice second.
Ooh.
That's like EXO third.
Well.
Fourth.
Well.
Fifth.
Well. Well.
Actually, NCT would probably be a closer second to
for sure. But isn't like 17 the biggest boy group in Korea right now? Wow.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to roll my eyes.
Wow. Okay. No, we see where you. We didn't even talk about 17, and we should have.
No, we're good. We're good on that.
Oh, well, I see where you stand with 17. I have some. I have some 17 fans that are listeners. So, you know, be shady at your own risk, but you know. 17, I can't. That was crazy. That was crazy, Kaia. We didn't even talk about Tomorrow by Together. They debuted in 2019. Really?
Yes, with Crown.
I was a pre-debut fan personally, but that's because I already knew BTS and they were like the second boy group to come out of Big Hit. And I don't know, it's so weird seeing like their first promotional, like they're like, you know how they all did it like, ooh. I just remembered about, and I keep bringing up girl groups, but when TXT first was like teasing like pre-debut things and they were doing it one by one, here come the Luna stands, respectfully, because I love Luna. Here come the Luna stands being like, oh my God, they're copying Luna, introducing them one by one, because that was Luna's whole thing. And no one was doing that. I don't think so.
But everyone gets introduced one by one when they debut new groups.
I guess now.
No,
then
since
too?
forever. Yeah, since forever.
It was kind of crazy. Yeah, people were calling TXT copycats of Luna. Even though also, like, that's a boy group, but I digress. But it was like, they looked like babies.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they were. Because, wait, no. I'm not any of their, I'm not.
I'm their age.
I'm not.
Yeah, you're kind of young.
Oh, wow. Kai is younger than me. Yeah. Isn't he?
No. He's old too.
Yeah, he's my brother's age.
He's like a year younger than me.
Freaky. Whoa, Subin is the leader?
Yeah.
Why didn't I know that? Why did I not know that? One of them is younger than me.
When he's the group
Bumgyu?
leader?
No. Bumgyu's born in like... How do you say his name?
Bumgyu?
Bumgyu? Okay.
Yeah, he's my age.
No, Kai has to be younger than me.
No.
That is crazy. 21?
Mm-hmm.
Dang. Yeah, they're all like your age.
Yeah.
Wow. I always thought Kai was younger than me. That's so interesting. Yeah, but they were all babies. And then I think like, and then Crown and they haven't had like a miss yet. I mean, me personally, I haven't enjoyed every single album that they've put out,
Mm-hmm.
but like I wouldn't call them bad. They're just not in my taste, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense.
They're all really good albums. They're all very solid albums as well. And they're every single one is original, and they're very experimental with every single like album that they do. Every sound is different. They haven't like they don't stick to one thing. They don't try to hang on to the one thing that like made them successful or anything. Like they're very experimental with every single song that they do, and I love that about them. Yeah. Do you have anything to say about TXT?
I love TXT.
Yeah.
So I could wax philosophical. I could not. But I think that like them playing 2 years in a row at Lollapalooza was really cool, and then getting to headline this year was like a really big deal. I think they're on a really good trajectory on like their popularity and the way they've grown. I think their music has always stayed like really like progressive in terms of how they experiment with things and their sounds.
Yeah.
And I think you can tell who they're influenced by pretty easily. So, yeah.
100%. I love TXT. Also, that song that they did with the Jonas Brothers was really good.
Oh my God, don't know how you do it like that. Oh my God, don't know how you do it like that.
Yeah, that song ate. Anyways, anything else we want to recap before we end this long episode?
What's your favorite boy band?
Ooh, that one's like low-key
Like,
kind of hard.
Out of all the ones we've mentioned, out of the ones we might not have mentioned, what's your favorite boy band?
This is really bad, but it is NCT.
Okay.
I mean, look at my wall.
Yes.
Yeah, so it is NCT.
Okay.
Even though I really only own 2 NCT albums.
Okay.
But actually, I own 3 now because I do own a Doja J. That is like a tongue twister.
Doja Jung?
I do own a perfume album. So, but yeah, that's mine. What is yours for the listeners out there?
Oh, this is kind of a hard one.
Is it though?
What is that supposed to mean?
I know the groups that you really like. I just feel like that there's one that really like dogs the rest.
And which would that be?
NSYNC.
Okay, yeah, you got me.
I
Yeah,
mean,
it's NSYNC.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
NSYNC for you, NCT for me.
Yeah.
Both that start with an N. We have so much in common, Kaia. We have so much in common. But yeah, I think that's the end of this episode.
Yes.
Boy bands.
Boy bands.
Boy bands. Do you think that they'll last? Let us know. I want to know personally what y'all's opinions are.
And what your favorite boy band is.
Yes, tell us what your favorite boy band is. Anyways, thank you for listening to the first episode of The Corner. There will be many more episodes for the series. I have a lot planned. Hopefully they sound really good. I don't know. Most of these topics that I'm going to talk about, do I have much knowledge on them? No, but I like learning new things, I think. Thank you, Kaia, for being on the podcast. This was really fun. Kaia?
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Of course. This was very fun. I'm kicking my feet because this was so fun. But yeah, thank you for listening to the Limelight podcast again. Thank you. And I'll see you, or maybe not, but I hope you come back for the next one. Anyways, bye. Bye.